Ba, ba-da, 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 da, 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 da. Woo!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Emma Dykstra. I'm the managing editor for Mars Hill.
And I'm Tyler Jones. I am the editor-in-chief of Mars Hill. Welcome to the 2021 exec speeches for TWUSA.
It's going to be a really exciting evening, and I'm going to guess that it's probably going to go how most of our Mars Hill meetings go, which is going to be me somewhat scripted and Tyler not.
Yeah, I think that's pretty obvious based on the intro we had here. So, yeah.
Well, with that, I suggest that we get right into watching the VPAR speeches. I believe we have two candidates. Looking forward to watching.
With our education now taking shape in diverse forms, and students residing in every part of the world, it can feel like we no longer have a community to lift us up like we once did. If elected as your VP of Academic Relations, I promise to implement a mandatory space for connection to be created in each faculty twice a semester. Whether it be a newsletter, an online event, or an in-person gathering, there needs to be more active spaces for students to connect with one another. I also promise to promote clubs, give them more visibility, and ensure that the club fair is hosted once a semester, as well as in an online format for our virtual students. I also promise to provide resources to club leaders who are having difficulty keeping their members engaged. I understand that we're all passionate about what we study and that we're all working towards our goals. And I promise to pursue and promote academic integrity and passion at Trinity Western by motivating professors and students to take heart in those moments of difficulty and hardships and uncertainty. This includes working with the VP of SR and other TWUSA members to ensure that our educational spaces and our clubs are more accessible. Because let's face it, our campus is not the only thing that students with disabilities and neurodiversities have difficulty navigating. With experience working as a city ambassador, a mental wellness mentor, a TWU student ambassador, volunteering with track, and being a member of our first Spartan dance team, I am skilled at transitioning from one style of leadership to another, and I value teamwork more than anything. Not just teamwork within TWUSA, but with the student body as a whole. If elected as your VP of Academic Relations, I promise to bridge the gap between us and them. We have a chance to improve our experiences. Why not take it?
I sat in my room by myself for virtual orientation week this year. I know that was an experience that many of us had in the fall, but as both a third-year student transferring in and not a Canadian citizen with the ability to access campus, it was hard to accept the idea that the place in those videos was my university. This disconnect, this distance, is something that all virtual students feel. And on the flip side, if this has been your home for the last few years, then I'll bet that it doesn't quite feel like your school used to be either. I'm running for Vice President of Academic Relations in order to make Trinity feel like your university for both virtual and in-person students. As someone who's had issues with professors in the past, I want to stand up for you and your value as a student. As someone who's sorely felt the lack of promotion for clubs, I want to connect you with those available communities. Being part of TWUSA this year through the Associates program has given me insight into how things work. And as people have said, it could be better. I've talked to club presidents who feel let down by TWUSA's lack of promotion and the hoops they have to jump through to get their clubs ratified and access their funding. I've talked to virtual students who feel out of the loop about available resources, people without social media who are never told what's available for them to invest in. The three ideas that are driving me to run for this position are communication, cooperation, and community. Opportunities need to be communicated to students. There needs to be more cooperation between clubs and TWUSA. And the faculty representatives need to be supported and equipped and able to serve their communities. If you vote for me for VPAR, I will advocate for your respect. I'll respect your time by creating smooth transitions to ratify and fund your clubs. If you encounter issues in your academic journey, I will fight on your behalf for your respect from the university. And I will also ruthlessly support the faculty representatives in engaging with their communities. I don't want anyone to feel like I felt last semester, disconnected, cut off, or isolated from the university that should feel like your home. Whether you live here in Langley, you commute, you're in person, or you attend your Zoom classes at 4 a.m. because of a time difference, this is your school. You deserve to be informed, and you deserve to be heard.
Well, I think it's safe to say that it's a good thing these two candidates are not doing a dance battle against each other, because we have a Spartans dance team member on our hands here.
That would be a pretty difficult competition. But fortunately, both of these ladies are excellent public speakers. Tyler, a long time ago, I heard, I'm not 100% sure if this is true, but I did hear once that the number one fear of the general population is actually public speaking. The second one is death. So I think it's safe to say that some people would rather die than do any public speaking.
If you heard that off Wikipedia, it's definitely right. So.
Oh, Wikipedia is the best thing ever.
Because anyone can write on it.
Exactly. Anyone in the world can write anything about any subject. So you know you're getting the exact information. Michael Scott.
How about some VPSR speeches?
I would love some VPSR speeches.
All right, we'll see you there.
The role of the VPSR is to be an advocate for the students of Trinity Western. No matter what you're facing in your school life or in your dorm life, the VPSR is here to help you get through it, to help you get connected to the right resources. And I am running with 3 specific pillars in mind: wholeness, community, and partnership. Regarding wholeness, you matter to me. Your well-being matters to me. So I want to partner with the PAW team, the discipleship ministry, to help you have a great experience here at Trinity next year. I also want to partner with the Wellness Center to give us tools to help with our mental health. Regarding community, I want to start including the 4th years, the 1st years, and the commuters better into the student experience. For the 4th and 1st years, I want to partner with the mentoring program that discipleship ministry puts on every year, just to get them plugged in. Regarding commuters, I want to plan monthly events so that they can also experience campus on a more regular basis. Regarding partnership, as I said earlier, your voice matters to me. Your well-being matters to me. And in this specific aspect, I want to make your voice louder. The issues that matter to you. I want to give you my platform so that you can have space to talk about the things that matter to you, whether that is social justice, whether that is the queer community here on campus. I want to partner with you to help you create a space where students, no matter their walks of life, could come and have a conversation, where we could invite people from other worldviews to have a conversation, because that is what it is about, building a better tomorrow. My name is Ezekiel, and I'm running for the role of VPSR.
Hello everyone, my name is Javin Kay, and I'm running for the role of Vice President of Student Relations. Currently, I'm finishing up my 3rd year studying sociology with the pre-law certificate. And a fun fact for you is that I'm an RA this year, and I did have COVID at one point this year. Before I got into campaigning for this role, there was a lot I didn't understand or even know about it. And I feel like this may apply to a lot of you who don't really see or understand what it is that TWUSA does for us behind the scenes. It was after a conversation with a mentor of mine and many conversations with diverse individuals here that I truly began to see what TWUSA stood for. I found that TWUSA did so much more than take a $75 student fee from us, or provide us with a cheap place for printing, or plan awesome events for us throughout the year. What I found was that they also constantly hear our voices and represent us, which is exactly what the role of VPSR does, and it is why I'm excited to pursue it. As VPSR, I'll be acting as a mediator between Trinity Western University and the Trinity Western student body. This means that I'll be listening to your concerns about what your graduation will look like next year and making sure that you're celebrated for your accomplishments. It may also look like sitting down and listening to your thoughts on Sodexo, or helping you prepare for meetings with university representatives. It may even look like me sitting down with you, socially distanced, wearing a mask, or on Zoom, listening to your thoughts and concerns regarding your university experience. Given what this year and the year before has thrown at us, I think it's important that we continue to strive to what brings us together by working together. The bottom line is that I want every student to feel like they're a part of something, be it you're a commuter, someone who lives on campus, or someone who attends school online. I want you to feel like you are a part of Trinity and that your voice will be heard. Finally, I want to draw everyone together and create opportunities for growth and understanding so that we continue to grow as one. Vote Javin K for VPSR.
Over my many roles and experiences at Trinity, my involvement as a collision assistant this year has made me recognize that we as young people have taken on demanding responsibilities. School is harder for most right now, and so many are going through economic, relational, emotional, and mental distress. As a result, my central goal as VPSR is to bridge the gap between Trinity and its students to ultimately craft a supportive and lasting relationship. I would do this by engaging in discussions and partnering with students, groups like the Wellness Center, 1TW, and the Collegiate Program to gauge how TWUSA can be instrumental in serving purposeful initiatives to the student body. Secondly, my aim is to create awareness about students' rights and further the spirit of advocacy by instilling bravery within students. For this, I plan to combine efforts with the elective VPAR and create initiatives such as hosting monthly workshops about how to effectively communicate with faculty. Finally, I want to cultivate and maintain lines of communication between both faculties and satellite campuses on TWUSA so TWUSA can cater to all students' admissions and encourage inclusiveness. I've had the opportunity to see Trinity transform over my 5 years through this many phases, which has allowed me to see a wide range of perspectives and challenges. I understand incoming and current student issues, especially with not being completely conscious of their options. I want to mitigate this by creating awareness, giving students confidential and practical guidance, and connecting them with the many people who are really looking to invest in them. When we tell our story about living alongside this year, my hope is that you will be able to say that your challenges were met with compassion and collective vision. If you envision the next season for Trinity as reconciliation and healing, then I encourage you to elect me, Christine Miranda, as your VPSR. Thank you.
So those were our 3 candidates for the VPSR role. What were your thoughts?
I thought they all did an excellent job. You know, one thing I do notice among a lot of these candidates is they kind of all end with some sort of like quote, almost slogan. I heard a bit of a build a better tomorrow and things like that. But Tyler, I thought it'd be kind of fun to play a game since we're on the topic of campaign slogans.
I love games.
I have with me here a few presidential slogans from former U.S. presidential campaigns. Some of them are real and some of them are fake. I just made them up. I'm going to read some of them to you, and you're going to tell me if it's a real slogan or if it's fake.
Okay.
Okay. Peace, experience, prosperity.
I'm going to say fake, too obvious.
Nope, that was Richard Nixon's slogan showing his expertise over Kennedy. United in hope.
Real.
That was actually me. I made that up, but thank you. That's a huge compliment.
That was good. I'll give you that.
Thank you. Change we can believe in.
Okay, I can't go over 3. I'm going to say false.
I'm sorry, it's true. 2008 U.S. presidential campaign slogan of Barack Obama. That was in your lifetime, man. Okay. Hope for America and the world.
False.
Yeah, that was me. Good job. Good job.
Okay, 1 for 4.
Okay. Believe in America.
True.
Yep, that was 2012 U.S. presidential slogan of Mitt Romney.
Clawing back.
And our final one is, don't ask me about my hair, ask me about my foreign policy.
It's so ridiculous that it's true.
Nope, that one is mine. If I ever run for office, you heard it here first. And with that, let's go to VP of Finance.
Hi there, my name is Max Alstead, and I'm running for the VP of Finance this year for the TWUSA position. I'm a third-year business student. I am specializing in finance and accounting, and I just want to thank all of you for tuning into the debate last week and the speeches right now. It means a lot knowing that we're not just talking to a camera, but we're talking to all of you. I'm going to start off by explaining what I would like to focus on as VP of Finance if I were elected. First, I'd focus on clarity. Like finance VPs before me, I believe that it is the right of every student, resident, or commuter to see how their $75 TWUSA fee is actually allocated. I would like to have very detailed and easy to understand statements showing exactly how each dollar of TWUSA's funds are spent. I commit to finding a way to make our financial update meetings as entertaining as possible because, like you, I'm already not looking forward to it. I would like you to know that I want to work with TWUSA to spend money on things that matter. I am committed to being approachable and available for anyone that has any questions or suggestions for how we can spend our money for the betterment of our student body. I think that a lot of my personal experience has equipped me for this role. This past summer, I worked for RBC Global Assets Management. I have curly hair, I've been a part of the TWU Student Managed Investment Fund, and finally, I made a little cash off our friends on Wall Street this past week, so I think that's pretty cool. As my last point, I want to say just to our first years out there that if I were elected VP of Finance, I would actually be their first male VP of Finance. And I think that's pretty special. Anyways, thank you for listening and hold the line.
So, Max is going to be running unopposed. Question for you. I'm setting the over-under line at 25.5%, okay? And that's for people voting no candidate. Do you think more people or less people are going to vote 25.5%?
I honestly could not say. I'm not very good at predicting the polls. What do you think?
I'm going to say under. I think he actually sold a lot of people with that speech.
He seemed very well prepared, and judging by the fact that curly hair is a qualification for VP of Finance, looks like you could go for it too. So
it pays off to look a little bit like Junior the Asparagus, I guess.
There you go.
So, yeah.
I do have a question for you.
Yes.
I feel like I've heard that you have some insider on what Max plans to do with the budget if elected.
I do, and funny enough, he actually mentioned Wall Street. It turns out Max is actually going to be gambling a little bit of TWUSA's budget next year. He plans on putting $20,000 into Dogecoin and $20,000 into GameStop stonks.
Let's go to Vice President.
This past year, we have faced many challenges both globally and individually. Community and connection are now essential more than ever before. Hello everyone, my name is Kevin Chai. I'm a third-year finance, accounting, and marketing student here at TWU, and I'm running for TWUSA Vice President. Being both an international student as well as a commuter, Trinity has enabled me a way to be able to be a part of this community in a meaningful way. No matter from my experiences serving on the Student Business Association, the Intercultural Program, or the Access Chapter Program. Being able to experience Trinity from multiple perspectives has inspired me to serve this community even more. My vision this year is to develop a community that regardless of your race, gender, or religion, that everyone is loved, valued, respected, and well supported during your time here at TWU. The three pillars of my campaign is unity, advocacy, and empowerment, and I will achieve these through my 7 tangible project-based proposals. Through unity, I would love to set up a monthly meeting with ICP as well as both collegiums to better serve our international students and commuters. In terms of advocacy, we need to resolve the fourth wave of the pandemic, and that's the mental health crisis. And because of this, I would love to initiate a TWU Mental Health Advisory Committee as well as a Mental Health Fund to better serve not only Trinity students, but all faculty and staff's mental well-being. And last but not least, empowerment through building on TWUSA's existing volunteer program to extend these awesome leadership opportunities to all students who have a heart to serve. And if you haven't noticed, I have great passion for this vice president, and I have plans laid out and experiences to follow through. And this is why me, Kevin Chai, will be an ideal candidate for your vice president.
This past year has been a year I never expected. I never expected to be on a totally remote TWUSA team, and I bet you never expected to be taking online Zoom classes and attending virtual events. We are doing things in a new way. And I'm running for vice president to make sure that the changes TWUSA makes are actually what students like you want and need. Hi, I'm Andrew. Through my time on TWUSA and as an ambassador, I have learned in depth about Trinity programs and organization. This foundation will allow me to lead the TWUSA team in following policy and in assisting the president in establishing their vision for the future. This year has been tough for everyone, and I understand if you feel like TWUSA has maybe not been a big part of your student experience. I've been talking with the collegial programs to create a strategy that will represent both online students and commuters. I will incorporate the commuter CF into the TWUSA weekly meetings to ensure that commuters are properly represented. I'm also partnering with the Learning Commons so that students will be aware of all of the resources that they have access to. As a student, you pay a student fee, $75 every semester. But do you really know what TWUSA does? I want to show you the behind the scenes of TWUSA and make sure you know the decisions that are being made on your behalf. For the first time in TWUSA history, I plan on live streaming all TWUSA business meetings on Instagram and Facebook Live. In addition to leading the TWUSA business meetings, the Vice President also leads a document review committee which analyzes all of TWUSA's policy. I plan on creating a continuity document which explains how this committee should be run year to year to prevent mismanagement of TWUSA policy. I will also use my experience with TWUSA to ensure consistency between this team and the next. During this transition, this is your chance to shape the direction of TWUSA for years to come. I would love to be your representative as your next vice president. Vote Bouchard 2021.
Wow, very two strong candidates. Yeah, amazing.
Very too strong.
Yeah. You know, this has been a pattern throughout all the speeches, thinking about COVID this year. And I think you and I have also experienced this on Mars Hill. A lot of these student leadership teams are kind of paving the way for future teams and these teams have gone through a lot of changes. They now have a lot of different functions that they didn't, like even 2 or 3 years ago. But Tyler, you were on TWUSA, weren't you?
I was on TWUSA in my first year, yes.
Yeah, what did you do?
I was the freshman representative in my first year. I believe I was the incoming class of 2017, as were you. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was basically I basically worked as an events assistant for the TWUSA team that year and attended meetings. Didn't really get to say much in meetings because I was an appointed member, mm-hmm. not an elected member. So, I mean, it was a really good team environment, and I think it eases students into bigger roles in a really good way, specifically mm-hmm. the freshman rep position. Right. But if I'm gonna be completely honest, like I know there's some polarization on TWUSA. It's like, oh, like why do I spend $75 a month when I don't drink TWUSA coffee because I have my AeroPress? You know what? There are a lot of people who benefit from TWUSA, and there are a lot of ways you don't even know that you're benefiting from TWUSA with that $75 a semester. I might have said month by accident, but I overall like TWUSA. The mission is amazing, and I cannot understate that. I had an amazing time as a member of TWUSA, and I understand why people are running for these positions. They're highly sought after, and there's a cool opportunity to make some change. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, they work tirelessly to make our lives better. So
100%.
Yeah, TWUSA, we love you. We appreciate you. Thanks for everything you do. And I guess with that, we're going to go to the grand finale, and that is the 2 presidential candidates.
Raised in Nova Scotia, a small Canadian province on the East Coast, I am a Chinese adoptee who grew up in a middle-class family in the inner city of Halifax. My name is Sarah Kate. I am a third-year art and design student who has a passion for art, people, knowing Jesus and making him known, and I am here to share why I'm running to be your next TWUSA president. My passion for people and drive for change have both been modeled and lived out by my family, and stepping out and living in faith, trusting that God has our good in mind, is why I'm here today. I believe the future of our community depends on fostering honest relationships with Christ and with each other, equipping passionate and driven leaders with compassionate hearts to fight the good fight of faith and walk towards the future together, united again. My past experience serving on TWUSA and my current role as an assistant with ICP has helped me grow in and be equipped to lead multiple teams towards setting vision for their objectives, accomplishing tasks and goals, and has given the experience to manage a team and confidence in delegation. I'd like to partner on a monthly basis with the Global Engagement Office to diversify the way we think and support our increasingly global community. I hope to create a monthly calendar of events by the beginning of each month so commuters are able to plan ahead to participate in community life. And I would also like to continue to steward our resources in a responsible and sustainable way by providing a small composting bin to each dorm and apartment by O-Day 2021. By collaboratively leading the TWUSA team, it is my greatest hope and desire that by continuing current initiatives and bringing back past initiatives, we would begin to bridge the divide and be united again. Loving God and loving others is the foundation I believe both vision and practicality unite. Change takes root and a culture of loving kindness towards one another flourishes. My name is Sarah Kate and I am running to be your next TWUSA president.
Hello everyone, my name is Annie Zander and I'm a third year studying acting and history. I'm running for president because I've come to love the difference that TWUSA can make in the lives of Trinity students. I want to foster unity on campus through innovation, inclusion, and advocacy. TWUSA has had to change and adapt this year due to COVID, which has allowed us to realize what TWUSA can do through expanding its horizons. Through innovation, I want to continue seeking out new ways to provide community, advocacy, and service to the entirety of the student body, no matter if you're on campus, a commuter, or online. Trinity is an increasingly growing international school with people from all over the world. I want to create free online workshops and tools of cultural training so that we can better connect with all Trinity students. I was elected as SAMC rep for this year's TWUSA team, and I've seen how effective advocating for students through its channels can be. I want to work in this role to make our resources easier to access and more visible. I believe I'm uniquely qualified due to my experience on TWUSA this year, where I'm sitting on committees now that I would next year as president. I know exactly how TWUSA operates and have been part of the team that had to adapt and navigate through COVID. I know what TWUSA can and cannot do in regards to its resources. Likewise, I've been the Theater Faculty's Department TA for the last 2 years, a position which acts as middleman between faculty and students if needed, working in collaboration with both. Currently, I'm on the board of directors for a Christian nonprofit charity where we work to end human trafficking around the globe. All the skills I've gained through these experiences I want to use to give back to the community that I've come to love, to Trinity. If I'm elected, I promise to be honest with you as I work to enhance your Trinity experience. However, this is not the limit to what I will do. I believe that the role of president exists to serve you. I will do whatever is in my power to better your journey at TWU. Thank you.
Well, again, two very strong presidential candidates for this year's team.
Vroom. Vroom, vroom. There's lights are behind me. Vroom.
Oh my goodness.
Vroom.
We're on a real Star Wars theme tonight, aren't we?
So the bottom line of this race is Star Wars fans versus influencers. Annie is a big Star Wars fan. And Sarah Kate, per the Mars Hill Declassifieds, which you should go submit one right now, is an influencer. Some random person said that she's an influencer. And the Declassifieds are, I would say, 95% of the time, they're right. So there's a really good chance that she's an actual influencer. So this is all about Star Wars fans versus the influencers. Among our student body, are there more Star Wars fans or influencers? That's the bottom line here.
I guess we'll find out. And you know, Tyler, I really do learn a lot going through all the Declassifieds. So by all means, keep on sending in those fun facts. We really like reading them. But I guess that would conclude our evening and conclude our anchoring. If there's any major news networks in the area, we are both jobless and we would love to be hired if you have positions open. But I guess with that, we will hand it over to our current Vice President, Abby Sepsic.
Thank you so much.
See you guys later.
Hello everybody, thank you so much for coming tonight, and a big thank you to Mars Hill for all their commentary on tonight's speeches. It made the evening much more enjoyable. I'm here to let you know that now the polls are officially open and they'll be open for the next 48 hours. So make sure that you cast your ballot. Voting is such an exciting thing that we get to do here at Trinity Western. So go to the polls and go check your emails. Thanks for coming.